Hey, what's on guys? My name is Bribe, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Duel Links video, welcome back to another Duel Links box review, or like first impressions video kind of thing. So, today with the most recent update of the KC Cup, we got Absolute Inferno officially confirmed, giving us Red Dragon Archfiend, some new Nephthys support, Lavals. There's quite a lot in this box that actually is really interesting, and I think this is one of the better boxes, the better main boxes we've had in a very long time. So, we're going to go through and review most of it, you know, like we're going to skip through all of this and go straight to list of cards included and just go through all the URs and SRs and a couple of the res nulls that I think are going to be pretty decent. I've not really looked at the entire set, so I'm probably going to miss a ton of stuff. So if there's any cards in here that I miss or any combos I miss or whatever, then feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Let's go, starting off with Red Dragon Archfiend. I don't think we need to talk about this card at all because we've had it in the game with Jack Alex, obviously with his skill. I thought this was going to come like much later because, you know, we haven't actually got Jack as an unlockable at the gate. I thought they were going to wait until we get Gate Jack to give us this, but I guess that they want to get all of the Silent Dragons out at some point, and Black Rose is definitely the most influential of those Silent Dragons, so I can understand why they wouldn't want to immediately give us that like so early on into 2019. So Red Dragon Archfiend, again, is just it's a very classic card. It's one that's pretty decent in Duel Links right now. It's not too great, you know, because you have to use a skill and you have to cover up your deck with more resonators that you kind of want, but you don't want that extra bulk in your deck. So should be nice to see it untethered from the skill and see what people can kind of do with FLAMVELL Dragon, level 5 fire UR again, 2000 attack, 1100 defense, 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner fire monsters. You can shuffle 2 FLAMVELL monsters from your graveyard into your deck to target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So I think this is very similar to a Gusto card. I can't remember which one it is, but FLAMVELLs like being in the graveyard, so they like being in the graveyard to be used as a graveyard resource for all of your monsters, which is really, really good. So this card is, I believe, the boss that we have in Duel Links right now. I'm pretty sure there are bigger boss monsters for FLAMVELLs. I know that, you know, if you play a TCG, you'll know FLAMVELL Chain is an Nephthys monster, so and that card has been banned for a very long time, so I doubt we'll ever see that when we do get Zexal and Nephthys summoning. But for the moment, FLAMVELL Dragon seems pretty cool. It's a level 5, so you kind of immediately you could get this out, play a Dark Resonator, go into Red Dragon Archfiend and kind of just synchro climb. I guess you could kind of do that. That'd be a fun little strategy to do with that, but again, it depends entirely on what kind of deck you're running. So FLAMVELL Dragon seems pretty cool. It's got some really freaking sick artwork, actually. It reminds me of a Duel Masters card, to be fair. Then we have Chaos King Archer, and I think this is the best synchro from the set. It's a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 Fiend type tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monster, so Dark Resonator plus a level 4. Pretty easy to get out. When this card declares an attack, you can switch the current attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of the battle phase. 26-26, so it's, even if it gets Econed or Windstormed or anything, it's still really, really good. Like, most synchro monsters we've got currently have really good attack, but their defense really lacks. So this is really nice to see, and its effect just means that this is the first thing you use in your battle phase. You attack with this, swap their attack and defense around, you know, most of the time it's going to be, you're going to get their attack to be very weak, and then deal a ton of damage, and it should make for OCKing with synchro strategies a bit easier, like just a little bit. It still won't happen often, just because we don't really have a deck that can spam out synchros that quickly, but this is a good step in the right direction. I think that made sense. Then we have Cerulean Sacred Things of Nephthys. I wanted to make a video on this a while ago when the set first came out in Hidden Summoners. I am so glad we're getting this because this archetype seems really fun. So you can ritual summon this card with Rebirth of Nephthys. You can only use each of these effects once per turn, and this is a hard one per turn. It's obviously the card name. So during a main phase, you can destroy Nephthys cards in your hand and or face up on the field, then destroy an equal number of monsters your opponent controls. So this whole deck, this ritual version of the deck, is taking that whole theme of, you know, destroying Sacred Things of Nephthys, especially something back from the graveyard, to a whole new level, being able to destroy cards in your hand and on the field, and then just blow up your opponent's monster zones. Really, really nice. Then during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by battle or by card effects, that's a bit different from I think it's a bit different from Sacred Things of Nephthys. I think Nephthys is only by card effect. You can special summon this card from your graveyard. Now, because it's a ritual, it does need to be sent there. I think it does need to be ritual summoned successfully before you can actually activate that effect. And, you know, even though it would be because you'd have, you know, got it on the field otherwise. but still a really nice card. 3,000 attack, so we're getting to that point where we're getting more boss monsters that can kind of compete with Quackimeros, with Maximus being so easy to summon out. Cerulean second things, Nephthys hopefully will be equally as easy to get out at some point. Then we have Brother of the Fire Fist Spirit, a level 3 Fire Tuner. Oh boy, this excites me because I did a video a while ago talking about like a bunch of synchros which come to Duel Links, and I said about the Fire Fist synchro, and it's finally here. Can be used as a synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Beast Warrior type synchro monster. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 3 fire monster with what is that, 200 or less defense in your graveyard, and special summon in defense mode. So immediately getting you access to a card to synchro with. I do like that we're now getting more of these cards that just put monsters on board to make synchroing essentially a one card synchro. So really, really nice. And if you do, monster you control cannot attack the rest of the turn except for Beast Warrior type monsters. That's pretty standard. And it's a hard once per turn, so you can't do this multiple times. So honestly, that's pretty cool. I don't know how good Fire Fist is going to be. We do have But Bear, which is one of the best Fire Fists, and obviously Fire Fist, again, a bit like Lavalval's, got more support into the Xyz era. So I think Fire Fists were an Xyz era archetype, but obviously we're now just getting the cards we kind of can get. We're not getting Tenki, unfortunately, which would make them pretty ridiculous and give them a Diamond Core equivalent, but way more generic. Once per turn, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can set one fire formation spell card from your deck, so that's very straightforward. We've got kind of some of those cards already that do very similar things. Once per turn, you can send one face-up fire formation spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, then target a monster on the field and destroy that target. You could do some ridiculous combo here. You could do a Fire Fist Nephthys deck, that would be kind of ridiculous. But anyway, just being able to destroy one card on your opponent's side of the field, any card or one monster, sorry, is really beneficial. And again, then just climb into the next synchro, summon this, climb to a synchro, or somewhere down the line, Xyz summon at rank 4. Very, very cool card. Then we have the Cyber Dragon that isn't a Cyber Dragon. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my Jack Atlas video. So this box is really a lot of like 2 videos combined that I did that kind of saying, hey, I was kind of right about things coming to Duel Links. If your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can special summon this card from hand, but special attack and defense become halved. I know we have Earth Armor Ninja in the game already that does something very similarly, but Vice Dragon I think is a little bit nicer, just because of the fact that it will synergize so well with some of the Retro and Archery support we get at some point in Duel Links, and it's a level 5 freeze to go into a level 8 or level 7 depending on what tuners you have. So Vice Dragon, I don't know whether it deserves the UR spot, but it's still a cool card and one that I think will see a little bit of play. It won't be like anything meta relevant, I don't think. Like Cyber Dragon is what people want just because it has that nice attack point stat, and having 1,000 attack really isn't good. Then we have Living Fossil. Hasbro is coming next week, I'd like to say, the week after, sometime around then. So only fair we get a card that combos extremely well with Giant Rex, and is a card that Hasbro used in the anime. So it's an equip spell. Activate this card by targeting one level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard. Specially unequip with this card, but banish it when it leaves the field, even if this card left the field. So that's where Giant Rex, you special summon Giant Rex out, and then when it leaves the field, Giant Rex will special summon itself back out. So really nice. When this card leaves the field, banish the equipped monster, sure. The equipped card, or the equipped monster, sorry, loses 1,000 attack and defense, all its effects are negated. So for the moment, you're getting him out, you're getting Giant Rex out. As just like a defensive wall or something, or to go into a bigger monster. And then when it's banished, you special summon Giant Rex back out. So it's pretty cool. I think that's how Giant Rex works. I'm actually going to Google it right now. Giant Rex. Just to see and make sure that I'm not completely wrong. If this guy's banished, special summon the card. Yeah. So pretty cool. Then we have Dark Bribe. This is a card I remember very fondly back in the day. It came in like GX Tag Force 3, I think it was, as a promo card with like Red Eyes Wyvern and something else I'm forgetting. This was a very powerful card in TCG, and one that is going to probably see a very similar amount of play in Duel Links. As a counter trap, when an opponent's spell card or trap card is activated, your opponent draws a card and negate the effect and destroy it. So it's not, it's not when a spell card effect is activated, so you can't like already negate things that are on the field. But Dark Bribe was a very powerful card. Of course, you are giving your opponent a free draw basically, but this is way more generic than things like Magic Jammer and Trap Jammer, and doesn't rely on you discarding a card either to activate it, so you're not losing any cards, and your opponent is technically gaining one card, but in most circumstances that one card will probably not be enough or to advance their game state in any meaningful way, especially if it's like during your turn to say, let's say it's your battle phase and you're attacking with 3 monsters and they have like a Wall of D face down. You play this, they draw a card, it's highly unlikely the thing they draw is going to actually be like a Sphere Creeper or something that can make them survive the turn. So Dark Bribe, a very cool card, and one I'm very happy about being in Duel Links. Then we have onto the super rares. Brother the Fire Fist Horse Prince, this is one that I again talked about in that video. Level 6 Fire, Beast Warrior Synchro, 20 attack and defense, so again, Chaos King Archfiend and this have a very similar kind of stat line. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 fire monster from your deck. After you synchro summon this card, you can also special summon level 5 or higher monsters for the rest of this turn. That's kind of annoying. I said this was kind of fair, to be fair as well, because you have gone into this big monster and then you can't really do much else. So the good thing about this is that, you know, you summon Horse Prince and then you summon out Spirit, and then actually, well, to be fair, Spirit doesn't even get its effect off. So I really don't know where you'd go with this, in all honesty. I don't know. Like, of course, you're going to get another level 3 fire monster out from your deck, so you could summon Spirit anyway and have a nice tuner on board to go into perhaps another Horse Prince, no, not another Horse Prince, would it? To go into perhaps a level 4 synchro or anything lower than that. But this really, like, the strategy of this, to me, just kind of screams, get the synchro out, then get out on Xyz and sit on board with it, and that's kind of what you would do with Fire Fist Horse Prince. So it's cool. I don't know whether it's going to be meta or not. I think there's a good chance that Fire Fists are quite high up in the meta game, but not like tier 0 or anything, like maybe tier 2. I'm probably completely wrong on that. They're probably going to just destroy things, but still, it's a cool card to have, but one that I don't, at the moment, I can't see too much being useful in this, unless like there's some level 3 fire that I'm forgetting that is completely busted. So yeah. Then we have Devotee of Nephthys, another ritual card, fits in the archetype. So win this time. You can summon this card with Rebirth Nephthys. You're going to use each effect once per turn. If this card is ritual summoned, you can activate this effect. Special summon 1 Nephthys monster from your deck. Also during your end phase, destroy this card. So I don't think you can get out the other rituals. If you can, that's kind of busted, but that would then mean that you wouldn't be able to use the effect of Cerulean because it wasn't ritual summoned properly. I'm pretty sure that's how it would work if it does. If not, obviously you're going to go for things like Sacred Phoenix, or there's another card, I think it's Disciple of Nephthys you want to go for. I think that's going to be a good one to go for as well. If this card is in your graveyard, you could destroy 1 Nephthys card in your hand, and if you do, special summon this card. So like, pop the Sacred Phoenix in your hand, special summon this card out, and then, you know, Sacred Phoenix effect activates and special himself out, clear the back row. There's a lot of nifty combos with this deck that could happen, and I'm looking forward, this is the deck I'm looking forward the most to playing with, because it seems really spicy. Then Laval, Lakeside Lady. There's more Lavals. There's a level 3 fire. If this card is in your graveyard and you have 3 or more Laval monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can banish this card and one of the Laval monsters in your graveyard to target one set card your opponent controls and destroy that target. That really isn't bad. Especially since, you know, the Laval synchros are fairly easy to get out and the deck likes being in the graveyard, and like, just imagining 30 card Lavals, like Grass Green Lavals, especially with the spell card we're getting as well. This could be kind of ridiculous. You know, you synchro summon out a monster, get the monster on board, use this effect, and then you destroy one set card your opponent controls, clearing out their back row, and then you're attacking with that Laval Dragon for 2000. That could be a real nifty strategy. Laval's seeming pretty cool. Then Genix Ally Duradark, level 4, 800 attack, 200 defense, so not too bad. Once per turn, your main phase, you can select one face up, tap your monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as this card and destroy it. But it can't attack. I'm pretty sure, like, I think I'm remembering properly that the Gen X have ways to manipulate attributes, so it could be good in that specific deck, but apart from that, I just don't see it being that great. So it's still, being able to pop a monster is really cool, and then obviously giving up attack for it. But if you're attacking, or if you're popping a really big monster like a Maximus or something, and I'm saying Kawaki Rose a lot, that's just what I've been facing in the Casey Cup, then that's going to be pretty cool. Then we have Dread Dragon. Again, another card I think I talked about. When this card is destroyed, balance into the graveyard, you can add 1 level 3 or lower Dragon type from your deck to your hand. So, Baby Dragon, the Cyberdark stuff, Kidmodo Dragon, Lengling. Those are some kind of targets you have there. Off the bat, there's probably more in this box as well. You can add FLAMVELL Guard, I know that's in the box as well. So you can add some pretty cool stuff to your hand for your next turn, which is not too bad at all. 3 Trolling Trolls, I'm just going to skip over this. I know it's going to be pretty good. It's a Beast Warrior, it's a tuner, it was in Flames of Destruction. I'm pretty sure I was considering talking about this in my video for that set, but I didn't do it in the end, I think. But it kind of locks you into Beast Warrior Synchro, so again, probably good for Fire Fists, but apart from that, nothing too great right now, and I think, I don't know why this is an SR spot, honestly, I really don't. FLAMVELL Guard, this is Blue Eyes' new best friend if you're playing that deck. If you're playing any other generic synchro deck, then having 2000 defense with a level 1 tuner is going to be really nice. Going into that level 4 synchro we got in 2 boxes ago, I think it was, I can't remember what the card was called, like the Night of Darkness or something like that. Being able to finally have like a real easy way of getting that card out, I think that'd be kind of cool. But still, FLAMVELL Guard has been playing the TCG, one of the most popular level 1 tuners, I think. So if you're playing Blue Eyes and you had Water Spirit as your best friend, chuck that thing in the graveyard, because this is going to be your new best friend. Then we have Alexandrite Dragon, again, another pretty powerful card, pretty stable card in most starter decks, I think, in the TCG. For a while, 2000 attack, 100 defense, level 4, vanilla. It's just a cool card to have. Like, maybe not deserving of the SR spot, but finally having it in Duel Links is really cool. Then we have Multi-Conduction Field. Now I'm speeding up a little bit here. I kind of want to get through this as quickly as possible. Send 2 Laval monsters from your deck to the graveyard. That's just great. Like that's a crazy good card for the deck. Yeah, good card. Skill Prisoner. This is one of the most underrated cards, I think, in the box. I think people are kind of skipping over this. So target one card you control this turn. When any monster effect resolves, the targeted that card activation, negate the effect. During either player's turn except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card you control. This turn any monster's effect resolves and negate that. Okay, yeah, so it's basically 2 negations, like 2 turn-wide negations, which is really good. There's no real downside to it, and like it really, really works with like against Quackimera's. Like again, this is like a Quackimera counter card, countering Maximus, countering the Rook Lord. It counters those 2 very, very nicely, and it does it for multiple turns, which is the big thing. So nice. If you have a big boss monster and you want to keep it on board from being destroyed by Maximus, there's your card. If you have any back row you want to do, there's your card. Like Skill Prisoner is really cool. Then we have Bad Aim. When your opponent's card effect is activated, that's anything. Target one card on the field other than that card and destroy it. This obviously works for destroying your opponent's stuff, but I think this is in this set more so to combat the, or to work well with the Phoenix stuff. I think that's going to be where you'll see this be played the most. Potentially a cool side deck card, but I don't know whether it would be main deckable. I think Dark Bro will be main deckable, and then this would be a side deck card, if anything. So if you see this in tournaments, expect it to be like a side deck thing, potentially. And that's it. We're done. We're done with the super rares. I'm just going to quickly go through this and see what we've got, because there's some cool stuff in here. We're getting like new FLAMVELL stuff. There is Disciple of Nephthys. That's what I want to talk about. When it loads level 2 Wind, during your main phase, you can destroy one card in your hand. If you do, add one Nephthys monster from your deck to your hand. So it searches pretty much anything in the archetype, and it can pop Yubel. So just think about that. You thought Yubel was gone, or like you thought Yubel couldn't get any worse, and suddenly it did. So you've got Konami to thank for that. Disciple is going to be a really fun card. Again, you can search it out with what's its face, with the other one, the level 2 Wind thing, and it perfectly kind of makes way for bringing that out with a ritual summon. So again, really cool. During your next standby phase, after this card is destroyed by card effects sent to the graveyard, you can add one Nephthys spell trap from your deck to your hand. So it's just a searcher for anything, which is kind of crazy. And I'm pretty sure that the ritual spell doesn't destroy. We also have Defender of Nephthys, again level 2, so it works really well with that. During your main phase, you can destroy one card in your hand. If you do, special summon one level 4 low Nephthys monster from your hand. So, like, yeah, just, destroy a card in your hand, so special summon out for the Disciple, use Disciple's effect, destroy another thing, search out for one of the ritual cards. Really, really cool. And then, when it's destroyed by card effects into the graveyard during the next standby phase, you can destroy one Nephthys monster in your deck except itself. So, yeah, like, this whole strategy is going to thin that deck like crazy and put monsters on board and blow up background stuff. So it should be a really fun deck to kind of play around with, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to have a video out before the set comes out, just kind of playtesting it basically. I kind of want to do that because it seems like there's some cool stuff. Like we're getting Maliseverus as well, which It's really weird to think about. More FLAMVELL cards, of course, and where is Rebirth? I want to read Rebirth quickly. You must also tribute, okay, sure. Then if you tributed Devotee or Cerulean, you could destroy one card in the field. So, yeah, like, you could destroy your own cards again, or one of your opponent's cards. So the whole archetype is just destroying things, blowing them up, and getting benefits off of that. So I'm really looking forward to Nephthys. I think that's definitely going to be the most buildable deck from this outright, but Laval's going to be a pretty fun deck, especially with like the support we're getting now. And of course, Fire Fist getting a new alternative strategy then rather than just being cards you just kind of splash in with Hazies or whatever. So, yeah, that should be pretty fun. That is my review or first impressions of this new box. Absolute Inferno. Surprised the actual card Inferno, like the one you banish to special summon, isn't in this set, but apart from that, it's a pretty cool set. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See ya then.